It was 1981, and the Apple headquarters in Cupertino was buzzing with anticipation. A group of engineers huddled around a table, presenting their latest design of the Macintosh to Steve Jobs. As they revealed their progress, Steve leaned in, examining every pixel, every curve, and every element on the screen with piercing intensity. Then he frowned. "This corner," he said, pointing at the interface. "It's off by a pixel." The room fell silent. The engineers exchanged glances. Surely one pixel wouldn't matter. But Jobs' eyes remained locked on the screen. "Fix it," he demanded. This was the essence of Steve Jobs, relentlessly obsessed with perfection, a visionary who believed that excellence wasn't just in grand ideas, but in the tiniest details. Jobs' obsession with detail was ingrained in him from an early age. He learned the importance of craftsmanship from his adoptive father, Paul Jobs, who was a mechanic and craftsman. Paul once told young Steve, "When you're building a fence, make sure the back looks just as good as the front, even if nobody will see it." This philosophy stuck with Jobs for life. His pursuit of perfection intensified when he co-founded Apple with Steve Wozniak in 1976. While Wozniak was the engineering genius, Jobs was the relentless perfectionist who saw design as an integral part of technology. To him, computers weren't just tools, they were works of art. This vision became evident with the first Macintosh in 1984. Jobs insisted that the circuit board inside the computer, which no customer would ever see, had to be visually beautiful. When an engineer protested, saying it didn't matter, Jobs shot back, "Yes, it does. You will know." Jobs' fixation on details didn't just stop at the aesthetics of Apple's products. He scrutinized everything, from the font on a screen to the texture of a mouse. He demanded that icons in the first Macintosh be so beautifully crafted that they would make users smile. The typeface used in the Mac, carefully chosen by Jobs after studying calligraphy at Reed College, would later inspire the typography in modern computers. In the early 2000s, when Apple was designing the iPod, Jobs wanted users to access any song in 3 clicks or less. When he saw a prototype, he was furious that it took 4. The engineers had to go back and refine the interface until they met his standard. This attention to detail led to a product that transformed the music industry forever. Then came the iPhone. Jobs was obsessed with how it should feel in the hands, how smooth the glass should be, and how seamlessly the software should interact with users. He spent weeks perfecting the scrolling function on the touchscreen because he wanted it to feel like butter. Even the sound of the keyboard clicking was carefully engineered. The result? A product that redefined communication and changed the world. Jobs' relentless pursuit of perfection wasn't always easy for those around him. He was famously demanding and often impatient. He would reject designs repeatedly, pushing his teams beyond their limits. Some called him a tyrant, others a genius. During the development of the first iMac, Jobs rejected hundreds of shades of white until he found the perfect one. When Apple was designing the iPhone, he fired an engineer because he didn't like the way the prototype's screen felt. His perfectionism meant late nights, missed deadlines, and enormous pressure for those who worked with him. But it also meant creating products that the world had never seen before. His philosophy was simple: people don't know what they want until you show it to them. He believed that by focusing on every small detail, he could create something extraordinary, something that people didn't just use but loved. Steve Jobs' perfectionism shaped Apple into one of the most successful companies in history. His relentless attention to detail set new standards for design, functionality, and innovation. Even after his passing in 2011, his philosophy remains embedded in Apple's DNA. Every Apple product today, from the sleek design of the iPhone to the intuitive interface of macOS, carries Jobs' signature perfectionism. His belief that technology and artistry should merge has inspired countless entrepreneurs and designers worldwide. But perhaps his greatest legacy isn't just in the products he created, it's in the lesson he left behind. That greatness isn't achieved by settling for good enough. It's in the relentless pursuit of perfection, the dedication to details, and the refusal to accept mediocrity. As Jobs himself once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." And Steve Jobs, with his obsession for detail and his unyielding vision, did just that.